Hey guys, I hope you're doing great. Today we're gonna look at Freqtrade, an open source trading bot, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so first things first, what is Freqtrade? Freqtrade is a free and open source crypto trading bot written in Python. It is designed to support all major exchanges and be controlled via Telegram or the web UI. It contains backtesting, plotting, and money management tools, as well as strategy optimization by machine learning. Sounds awesome, right? In this video, we're gonna install Freqtrade and just take a basic look at it. We're also gonna just take a look at the basic strategy that you can extend or reuse as a sample. Probably we're gonna do a little tour around the UI, and I guess that should be it for today. In future videos I might do more, but let's see how the response is. Installing Freqtrade is actually very simple. They provide you with a Docker Compose file. Oh yeah, we're gonna use the Docker Compose version that they promote in their documentation. And yeah, let's just do this. So, I open up a terminal, and there you go. I'm just gonna call it Freqtrade demo. Inside this directory, we're gonna download this Docker Compose file I mentioned earlier. It is from the GitHub repository of Freqtrade, so no worries, you can take a look at it by simply following this link. But yeah, we're gonna see it anyway very soon. So I just press enter. You need to have curl installed to execute this command. And yeah, I'm doing all this on a Linux machine, so just look at the installation instructions for your operating system if you're using something else. Yeah, we have the Docker Compose file. Let's just take a look at it. Oh no, I'm still in the wrong directory. There we go. Okay, now everything is right, and I'm in the right directory, and we have the Docker Compose file. So I'm just gonna open it. Here you can see we have just one service configured, and we're using the default Freqtrade stable version at the moment. But I think we should use the one that enables us that has plotting of the strategy results, backtesting results basically in stock for us. So I'm just gonna comment out this line and uncomment that one. This is if you really want to do some customization, you can do so by specifying your custom Docker file and adding all your customizations over there. Yeah, please visit the Docker documentation for more on that. Okay, now that we have enabled the right image to provide us with the functionality to plot the backtesting results of our strategy, we're gonna just look further into the Docker Compose file. Here it says restart unless stopped. So once started, the container will just continue to be started with your host system unless you stop it. It's as simple as that. The container name is Freqtrade. We need to specify, this is actually kind of important, if you want to reach data from your Freqtrade container on your host system, right? We're using Docker, so we are creating a container on our host system. The host system is the PC this is running, or the server that you provide all this to. In the volumes section, we're specifying the folder on the host system. That's where we are going to find the data. In this case, it is the current directory where this Docker Compose file is laying around. And within this, it is going to look for the user data directory. Within that, all the Freqtrade data is stored. Okay, but on the container, this is under root Freqtrade user data. So you see, we're mapping the directory on the host system to the directory on the container. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The rest is actually pretty straightforward. We're going to expose the port 8080 to access our container through the web UI. And yeah, the last thing is the startup command that we're gonna take a look in just a moment. Okay, so we have done our configuration for now. I'm gonna write and quit. Since we have specified the image already, I can pull the right image. There you go. This is now pulling the Freqtrade image. And once this is done, we are going to create a user directory using this command here. As you can see, we're gonna run this command within the Docker container. That's this part that tells us this. We're gonna use the create user dir command, and we're specifying that the user directory should be the one we specified in the Docker compose file. Yeah, it has pulled the image, so we can just go ahead and do that. Bam. The next thing we're gonna do is create a configuration. This will start a nice wizard that I wanna show you, basically. Because there's just one little thing that you need to know, or you need to pay attention to. And yeah, let's take a look at this command. Actually, I just right here. Okay, so docker compose run Freqtrade and running the command new config, and we're specifying the location and name for this configuration file. In this case, it's just the default name and location. So let's press enter. Starting the container, and there we have the dialog. Do we want to enable dry run this demo bot? So yes, we want to do so. Please insert your stake currency. USDT is fine for me. Please insert your stake amount, number or unlimited. I go with unlimited because, you know, it's just a demo account. Please insert max open trades, integer or -1 for unlimited open trades. I'm happy with the default 3. Have the strategy defined the time frame or override it in configuration. We're gonna take a look at the strategy, and I'm gonna show you where you can specify this within the strategy. And to be honest, I would always specify it within the strategy, so you have it just in code, you know. But that's your decision. We're gonna just press enter now. Please insert your display currency for reporting. US dollars is fine for me. And I wanna use the Binance Exchange. You obviously can take another one, but please keep in mind that only on Binance and I think OKX, you can do short positions at the moment, because the underlying Python library that they use to communicate with the exchanges, that's CCXT, doesn't support that. Yeah, it just doesn't support it right now. So, but no problem for me. I'm gonna use Binance for now. Do you want to trade perpetual swaps, perpetuals and futures? As I said, this is basically the question if we want to do the futures part. That's like the exchanges. You have like the spot market and you have the futures and options markets and whatnot. And only in the futures market, perpetual futures market, sorry, you can do shorts on whatever crypto you're trading. So we don't need it, but I'm gonna say yes. Do you want to use Telegram or enable it? No, I don't. Do you want to enable the REST API includes Freqtrade UI? Yes, I want to do so because I want to access this trading bot through my browser. And yeah, basically it. Insert API server listen address. 0000 for Docker. This is the important part that you need to pay attention to, because per default this is set to localhost IP address, but for Docker we need to have it set to the 0 IP address. Let's just call it like this. Insert API server username. Freqtrade is fine for me, and the password, it's gonna be test1234. And bam, there you go. We should now have a user directory and a configuration within that directory. Let's see if that's true. So you can see, besides the doc compose YAML file, we now have a user data directory. Let's navigate into this. And Freqtrade has put in the full folder structure of the system, of the, let's call it a framework, within this directory. So we have a folder for backtesting backtesting results, for our configuration, the data. With data, this is like the candles that you download to do your backtesting. Then we have the hyperopt results. Hyperopt, this is like the machine learning part where you can leverage the machine learning functionality of Freqtrade to find the best values for your strategy. This is actually really nice. We don't have the time to look at it this time, but hopefully in one of the future videos. What else do we have? We have the logs. We have also a folder called notebooks. Since this is written in Python, there is also like this Jupyter notebooks for your studies that you can use. Then in order to visualize the backtesting results for you, like plotting, Freqtrade is exporting a HTML file that you can look at where all the graphs and stats are visualized. And then finally, last directory, the strategies. This is where all the Python classes that like the strategy files that you're gonna write for your trading bot are gonna lay in. Okay, so we have come a long way, but we're not there yet. Also, I have realized that this is not the perfect setup to record since you can see much. It's behind me. So let's just adjust this. Okay, let's move on. Next, we're gonna take a look at the strategy. The strategies are located within the user data directory in the strategies folder as discussed before. So let's just list the content of this. So you see we have one sample strategy in this that we're just going to take a look at now. Okay, so here you see the class definition. It extends the iStrategy base class. And I'm just going to do this really quick. Okay, please reference to the actual documentation if you want to have a detailed overview of the configuration options that you have, or leave good feedback so I do another video on the details here. Okay, so one of the most important settings, also related to what you set in the wizard or in the configuration, is if your bot or your strategy is allowed to go short. If so, you will need to set this to true. We're not going to do this. I'm going to use the default values here. Here you can set a stop loss target. This is using percentage values, and basically one is 100. So -1 is a loss of 100%, and here default is 0.1. So the default stop loss target is 10%. Here is the time frame setting that I mentioned earlier. Please make sure that you have the optimal time frame for your strategy here. Otherwise, it's just gonna take the configuration, and yeah, if you're copying around this strategy between different environments, or yeah, let's just say different environments, then this might get messed up. So make sure to have the perfect or your preferred time frame set here. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, let's go to the populate indicators method. So this is the method where you can do the calculations for your indicators on the chart, like moving averages, RSI, that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's go to uncommented one. Yeah, RSI is fine. As you can see, you're gonna write into this data frame dictionary into the RSI key, and you have this TA library available to you, which we are importing here. So it's using TA-lib, and yeah, you can access it through TA, back to the RSI, and yeah, here we're just passing it, the data frame to it, like the existing one, the one that comes with this candle. That includes all the previous candles and the current one, and it's calculating the RSI for us and adding it to the data frame. Over here, you can set the indicators that you actually want to have plotted on the chart. Okay, so you can differentiate between the indicators that you're just using for internal calculations and the ones that you want to actually show on the chart. So in this case, here we're labeling it RSI, and here we're referencing it. Also, we're giving it like a color. Yeah, please visit the documentation for further instructions on this, but just so you know, you can differentiate between what's used for calculation and what is used to be what is plotted on the chart. What's the next method? Actually, yeah, populate entry trend. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. So this is where you decide if your bot should take a short or long trade. Here you can add, or again, it is writing into the data frame that's passed here, by the way. It's always passed as argument. So within this dictionary, we can add some conditions that must be fulfilled. So we populate entry long, and we set it to true here with the 1 for this iteration of the calculations. So with each candle, this bot is calculating if it should go long or not. In this case, like the above case is long, and here you have short. Okay, here you have the conditions, and if all of them are true, you either go long or short. And obviously you return this. Please also make sure to always return the required values that are stated in the documentation or in this example, so the bot will work properly. Yeah, okay, so we have the enter trade logic, and we also need the exit trade logic. So this method is called populate exit trend, and it basically follows the same rules as the entry trend. So we again are adding our calculations to this iteration of the calculations. So we're adding it to the data frame dictionary, and here again we have the conditions, and if they are fulfilled, we write into it exit long is true. And that's it. That's basically the sample strategy in a nutshell. Okay, do I have some other notes on this? Nothing comes to mind, so let's just go out of here. Okay, so we skipped the initial trade, like we skipped the command or the line in the Docker Compose file that is starting this trading strategy. So now we're gonna take a look at it. Outside, it is inside the Docker Compose YAML file, and this is at the root of our project. Mine is called Freqtrade demo, if you remember. And yeah, let's just open it. There we go. Here, these lines are the initial command that I was talking about. So once the Docker container is started, this is the command that it is executing first. You know, like if everything is set up, we just start trading the strategy. So under the hood, this is using the Freqtrade trade command, and we're passing it a log file that it should, you know, use to log the database we use. In this case, it's a SQLite database. I think Freqtrade doesn't support other things. Please prove me wrong in the comments. And a configuration file and the strategy we want to trade. Little detail, you need to put in here the class name in here, like not the file name, but the class name. If you remember, the sample strategy has a lower case file name, and yeah, let's just take a look at it. So here it is, sample strategy, camel case, or Pascal case, I don't know. And we see in the user data strategies folder that file name is something else. We have the class declaration here, and we need to use this one, like this name we have specified in here, just so there's no confusion why it's not finding your strategy or whatnot. And yeah, now you should be able to start this bot, and it should start trading the sample strategy. Let's see if that's true. So I exit the Docker Compose file, and I finally start the bot. Docker Compose up D. The -d flag here tells the Docker Compose command that we want to run the container in the background. Oh, now Okay, so we have an error. Okay, so we had a little error here. I'm already running another setup using Docker, so there was a little conflict here. What I changed is the service name and the container name. So that's all I changed, so I resolved the conflict, basically renaming it from Freqtrade to Freqtrade demo. And that's it. Now the container is starting. Yeah, Docker compose upd. There you have it. And now, if I'm right, we should now have the Freqtrade UI on our local host. Yeah, so we use the local host's IP address and the port 8080 access it. If I click on login, we are going to, name bot. Let's just call it sample strategy. We have the local IP address set up, so we just leave this as it comes. And yeah, our username was Freqtrader and our password was test1234. Bam, we're in. Okay, here in trades, we just have this basic dashboard, and sometimes it doesn't load. I don't know why. You just have to reload this, and there you go. Here you have a couple of tabs. In the trade view, the list of trades, general information about the bot, performance statistics. We obviously don't have some. The balance of your bot. Yeah, it says simulated balance. Daily statistics, a pair list, and pair logs. In the dashboard, you can see all your strategies running. This is because you can connect multiple Freqtrade instances through the API. Okay, so you can have one main dashboard where you just add multiple instances. You can just go back to the Freqtrade UI start page and click on this button to do so. And yeah, and this will just prompt the same dialog you have filled out previously. Obviously, you're gonna need to run this on different subdomains. And yeah, let me know if you want to see how to do this in one of the follow-up videos. We're just gonna move on. So here you have the different bots running. Here you can see your open trades, and here's some profit statistics. The chart, I actually don't know why they have included like just chart again. Besides this view, I really don't know. And you have the logs here. This is actually the system log or the Freqtrade log that you can also visit in the logs directory. Yeah. Also, there's a dark and white mode that you can toggle over here. And yeah, this is basically it. Oh yeah, at some point you might find yourself in a situation where you are running Freqtrade on a server or host system that is in a different time zone that you're in. So here you can change this, but I would actually recommend doing it through the Docker Compose YAML file. And yeah, I might show you that as well in a future video. Yeah, that is the ground tour for the web UI. Yeah, maybe here there's also a downside, not downside, but there's also the content below. If you have open trades, they will list here, and if you click on one of these trades, this will pop up like here, and you will have a status update of your trade. Let's see if I have forgotten something. No, I think that's it. Yeah, I just leave it like that, and hope you can enjoy Freqtrade, have a good time with it, and yeah, I also hope you learned something. Like, comment and subscribe, and we see each other in the next one. Goodbye.